Welcome to the Real Wealth Mindset. 2025 is not going to reward the average investor. It's going to reward the intelligent one. The investor who can see past the noise and act with clarity. Today, I'm not just sharing the top 5 assets you should own. I'm giving you the why, the psychology, and the macroeconomics, and the real data behind each play. And if you are still parking all your money in a savings account hoping to save your way to wealth, this episode will either wake you up or leave you behind. If you are ready to think like the 1% that would make you wealthy, hit that subscribe button and stay with me till the end of this video. Let's have a deep insight, and I call this the frame. Let's begin with a truth bomb. Wealth isn't about what you buy, it's about where the world is heading and how early you can position yourself. And right now, we are standing on a convergence of trend: AI dominance, digital asset maturing, inflation recalibrating economies, and a new power shift from the west to the east. So if you want to win in 2025, you need to invest not just in assets, but in systems of value creation. That's what the 5 assets represent. My asset number 1 is AI and autonomy-driven tech. Why does it matter? AI isn't a trend, it's infrastructure. Those who invested in oil in very early 90s, they got rich. Today, AI is the new oil. I imagine owning a stake in Microsoft in 1990. That's what Nvidia, OpenAI, and autonomous infrastructure platforms represent today. Let's look at the key data. AI market is to hit 15.7 trillion by 2030. That is not said by me. It is said by PwC. 2030. 90% of Fortune 500 companies will adopt generative AI internally by 2026. It's not said by me, it's said by McKinsey. These are analysts, professional analysts and organizations that know exactly what the play is. Imagine 2026 is just a stone throw from here. Even 2030 is another stone throw from here. That is why you need to invest as soon as possible into these assets. Let's ask you about your move. What is your move? If I were you, although I am not a financial expert and I'm not an advisor, I would advise you to first do your due diligence. But in this case, I would advise you or let you know that I'm going to invest in ETFs. ETF that is strictly or directly or indirectly relating to AI. ETFs such as BOTZ, ETFs such as ROBO, ETFs such as QQQ. I would definitely like to invest in that, but do your due diligence. Let's look at stock. Nvidia That is one of the best stocks that I would invest in. Alphabet, which is Google, I would like to invest in that. Palantir, I would like to invest in that as well. Think in decades, not in weeks or months or years. I would advise you to do your due diligence and look into asset number 1. Asset number 2 is digital assets like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and tokenized finance. Why does it matter? We are witnessing the institutionalization of crypto. ETFs are here. Governments are testing CBDCs. The dollar is losing dominance slowly. So let's look at the more insight about this. Bitcoin isn't just a code. It's a response to broken trust in legacy finance. It's a response to the breaking of trust amongst the old institution of finances. Let's look at the key fact here. BTC having in 2024, historically followed by explosive growth. Explosively, Bitcoin, as we speak right now, is around $97,000 for one Bitcoin. BlackRock and Fidelity now offer BTC exposure. This is equals to mainstream arrival. This is the time to look into it. What is your move? If I were you, my move would be Bitcoin and Ethereum. Long-term co-holdings. We hold both of them and have it as a long-term. My second move will be tokenized assets. Pay attention to real-world asset tokenization. Tokenization such as real estate and artworks. Let's look at asset number 3. Is the scalable real estate platforms. Why does it matter? In a high interest rate environment, access and flexibility matter more than ownership. Fractional real estate and tokenized REITs. REITs again is REITs. If you watch my previous video, you see I emphasize on REITs a lot. You don't need to own 3 properties to earn a rental income, my friend. Today, you can own 0.0% of a Miami building and still get paid monthly. What is your move? Fundraising, Arrive Homes, REIT, tokenize REIT on a platform like Propi, high cash flow markets, like places like Texas, Florida, and parts of Europe. You can invest in real estate in those areas. My number 4 pick for asset to invest in 2025 is gold, silver, and inflation hedges. Why does it matter? Gold is making a comeback, not just as a hedges, but as a geopolitical store of power. For example, central banks bought more gold in 2023 than any other time in recorded history ever. What does that tell you? What does that tell you? What is your move? The move should be physical gold, silver bars. In digital, you can have GLD, IAU, Sprott Physical Gold Trust. So you have gold plus Bitcoin equals to your partial strategy, my friend. Let's move on to Asset number 5. Asset number 5 that I pick is private equity plus personal brand. Why does it matter? We are in the creator-investor economy. You are either building your own platform or paying rent to someone else's platform. You don't need millions to invest like a VC. But you do need to start seeing yourself as a platform. I am a platform. You need to start seeing yourself as a platform. Your move is you can go place like Republic, invest in the early stage startups, angel investors, angel list. You can own your own podcast, your own products, your own YouTube channel. So, your own podcast, product, YouTube channel, plus income minus producing assets. So, what I'm saying in a nutshell is with your platform, you can start producing assets, income and assets. You have to pay attention to its capital and monetize it. Those are my number 5 assets that you should put your money in 2025. But let me take it a little bit further. This will be the top 5 places to invest your money in 2025. India and Indonesia. Their GDP is exploding and there's a lot of startup ecosystem and they are maturing as well. For example, a lot of people are moving from China now to India to establish their companies. And number 2 is Africa country, West Africa country to be precise. These are untapped digital expansion. Fintech growth like crazy in places like Lagos, Nigeria. So West Africa countries should be concentrated on, including Ghana. And number 3 is green tech sectors. Lithium, solar, battery storage. You want to put your money into lithium, solar, battery storage. And number 4 is your skill stack. And this is very essential because it's more of a personal. You have to build yourself to have the skills. You have to go to different type of school. If you cannot afford it, there's other places that they can give you like a sponsorship. You don't need to go to school for 5 years, 4 years, whatever. You can engage in a short-term courses. You can get certifications. You can have the skill without even thinking about the paper. Now, you can also go into mentorship. You have to mastermind things. You have to be mastered of things. You can have a skill of your hands. And master the art of branding. That is my number 4. My number 5 is cash reserves in high yield or treasure bill, which is flexible, but it is very highly underrated. For example, there's a treasure bill in place like Nigeria where you invest in it and you can get 15% within 3 months and they will pay you upfront. Okay? That's just one. Now, my conclusion is more of the mental shift. You have to shift your mind. You have to shift your mind to focus on the real thing, the real deal. You can't buy your future with yesterday's strategy. You need to think deep, move early or move earlier and play longer. Every asset I've listed today solves a future problem. That's where wealth lives, in the solution space. That's where wealth lives, in the solution space. So don't just consume this. Take one idea and act. Even if it's just $100. Because wealth does not come from what you know. It comes from what you apply. My friend, know that if this episode gave you a value, share it with someone. We need your assistance to share it among friends and family that needs it, that this may be helpful to them. And write on the comment section what you think, what your takes are. Let's engage. Remember to subscribe, remember to share, and click that notification bell. Thank you for your view, and see you next time.